I'm here at the church getting some things done for tonight. For church, we have Christmas dinner, get together. Actually, I just want to come and leave you a message and a little video. Lately, usually what I preach about is usually things that I deal with myself, and I like to relate to people because I feel the connection of the message is a lot better when you've been through it yourself. And one that's really been getting me lately is a feeling of failure, a feeling of just not being good enough or will never be good enough. And I think a lot of times our inadequacy, it takes over to a point where we don't even want to try anymore. If you're one of these people and you can understand where I'm coming from, you can understand how it can immobilize you, get you to the point where you're saying, "What's the point? Why go on any longer? Not like I'm ever gonna be able to finish it." But the thing is that the thing about emotions, it makes us think a lot about ourselves, and it really manipulates how we feel to the point where it becomes an action. If I feel sad enough, the action is I won't be able to do anything. It happens with depression, sadness, failure, all these things, all these emotions mixed together. And I think we need to understand that we need to not let these small thoughts and emotions get into our mind to the point uh, where they start growing and growing and growing to the point where a stronghold begins to take over. And when your mind's taken over by a thought or by an emotion, usually not too long after that, your body will follow. If I feel sad, I may be able to get through my day, but as it festers in my mind, eventually I stop wanting to eat, drink, go out, do things, talk to people. Everything always starts here, and it manifests itself in the body. So, what I want to let you know today is that I too struggle with this, and that you need to understand what I'm starting to understand too, or not just understand, but remind myself that I'm not a failure, I'm not inadequate. God didn't make me a failure, He made me in victory. The Bible says that He is triumphant and His victory is my victory. The day I said yes to Him was the day I was able to share in the victory over life and death and over these emotions and over these characteristics that I think that make me who I am. These events of failure are events. They happen at that specific time, but that doesn't mean that's who I am. Fears that go on in my head are just thoughts. And if I let them become more than that, it keeps me from doing what God has called me to do. Fear is a thought that hasn't even happened yet. Fear is something that is just a what if. Well, what if this was to happen? That might happen. It's very dangerous. You shouldn't do that. It's going to be very embarrassing. Don't do it. You should be scared. And a lot of times, I think a lot of us end up saying, "Well, it could happen, so I'm just not going to do it because of what if." And that what if keeps us from achieving a lot of things in life. So I want to reach out to y'all guys today. I want to encourage you guys, saying that if you are feeling this way like I am at times, remember who you are. You have to remember who Christ says you are. You are victorious. You are restored. You are reconciled with God. You are everything and all things to Him that He loves. It doesn't matter how people can say that you felt this, or you tell yourself that you fear this. It's not about what people say, and it's not even about what you say about yourself. It's about what the truth is, and the only truth that comes from anything is from God. And He says, "You are my son. You are who I made you to be. You are everything and all things that I have planned." And the only way that you are ever not going to achieve it is if that you let your failures and your thoughts and your emotions corrupt the great plan that God has for you. Get up, stand up, know that you're strong and that you can do it. Y'all have a God bless day, guys. If you need anything, you can always message me.